Okay, okay. So I want to dedicate this tonight. I've never done this before, but I want to dedicate this to my writing friends. There is a huge group in this community who support each other and love each other and laugh with each other and laugh at each other, which is the highlight of my presentation tonight. And I have the good fortune of having such good friends that I can make fun of them and that they're okay with that. So this is basically, I take the Ike stories, Tim Baker's Ike stories, and Tim and I have been kind of playing with the Ike stories and kind of teaming with those stories. And so this is a continuation of those. It's called Ike and the Lobster Mobsters. My mom and I scanned the deck of the Beach House Beanery for 2 seats. A handful of people had already arrived, seating themselves amongst the turquoise and pink picnic tables. Across AM1A, the ocean rolled in and out, its roar lost to the traffic that zoomed by. "This place is lovely," my mom said as she dusted the sand from her toes. She was dressed more for a night of mahjong with the ladies at Temple Bethel. I looked around and noticed a towering man with white hair and a goatee. A large cooler sat close to his feet as he talked with another guy. This man wore a t-shirt with a Snoopy-looking character on it. Sporting a shoulder-length surfer boy haircut, cargo shorts, and Ben Franklin-style glasses, it was unclear to me whether he thought he was 25 or 55. Mom settled into a yellow chair while I headed into the cafe to get us some wine. When I came back, a smooth southern gentleman in a suit coat and cowboy boots had taken the stage. "Welcome," he said. "I'm excited tonight to be celebrating our 2-year anniversary with the Inspired Mike. Tonight we are having our very first themed show." "What's that, you ask?" "Well, our theme tonight is lobsters." Yup, in honor of the passing of Ordinance 391, thanks to Mary Dreads and her team of dedicated vegans, the sale and consumption of lobsters is illegal in Flagler County. A woman with silvery dreadlocks took the stage. Is that anybody you know? No. "I want to thank everyone for making this possible, but our fight isn't over yet. Thousands of lobsters are facing the pot every day. And so I'd like to take a moment to bow our heads in prayer for all the lobsters who've lost their lives to cruel, insensitive carnivores." I heard a snicker and noticed the Beach Boy and the Goliath were holding back laughter, their shoulders shaking as they tried to restrain themselves. The dreadlocked woman looked to them and scowled. "You're dead to me, Tim Agan and Tim Baker." Interrupting an impending conflict, the MC took the stage again. "Up first tonight is Kevin Cox. Kevin spent many years as a police officer in Brooklyn, New York. Tonight he shares a story about a 911 call that involved a whorehouse, some whips and chains, and one very unfortunate lobster." You remember that one? I noticed the beanery's owner, Carol, peeked out from a side door and looked right at the Tims. The big guy gave a discreet nod and gestured to the cooler, then looked to his buddy, who nodded in confirmation. On the stage now was a short woman with a turquoise nose ring. Who could that be? Wearing a full mermaid costume with a red wig on her head. On her left hand was a lobster puppet. She was speaking dramatically in a high-pitched lobster voice, apparently making some sort of sexual innuendo between the mermaid and the puppet. My mom turned to me and rolled her eyes, and then whispered, "Rachel, would you be a dear and get me my sweater from the car?" I walked towards the parking lot and noticed behind the stage wall stood a tall, muscular man hiding quietly, a gun in his hand. I walked towards the parking lot and noticed behind this, I recognized him instantly. "Ike?" I whispered. Ike brought his finger to his mouth. "Shh." He gestured to me to join him. "Why are you here?" I asked, squeezing behind the tight space. I've been asked to protect two men named Tim. They believe their life is in danger. Really? Who's after them? The FSPC. FSPC? Flagler Society for the Protection of Crustaceans. These guys have been part of an illegal lobster trading cartel. You know, lobster mobsters. Tim Baker and Tim Agan, the dynamic duo out there, are their ringleaders. There's rumor out there.
Where are they tonight?
I know! This is what I'm talking about! The one night they picked to not be here. I'm mad. Okay. There's rumor out there that there's a cartel going on and at the Beanery is serving lobster dinners to an elite group of secret diners and making big bucks.
Whoa.
These two are supplying them.
Oh.
Really? Yes, the FSPC will go to any length to protect lobsters in this county. Their leader, Mary Dreads Geithner, has made numerous death threats on these guys. This is all a little bizarre, I said. Not sure I believed him. Agreed, but trust me, the folks of Flagler Beach are not quite right. We could hear the mermaid on the other side of the wall reading gushy poetry. And so I gaze upon you, my beloved lobster king. No one but you can make my heart sing. Ike and I peeked behind the wall to see the two Tims with the cooler running into the cafe's kitchen. The dreadlocked woman scowled and pointed at them.
Vegan Army, unite!
Okay, with her command, three scrawny 20-somethings rose from the crowd and chased after the duo into the kitchen. By the time Ike and I got there, the older woman and the two henchmen held the big guy down. The guy who looked like a Caucasian Rastafarian held the beach boy down, a gun on his head as he whimpered. On the stove stood a large pot of boiling water, preparing for the evening's illegal dinner.
Oh,
The dreadlocked woman grinned wildly at her captured foes. Do it, boys, she cackled. A young man wearing a Save Libby t-shirt began to shove the big Tim's head into the pot. Now you'll know how it feels, you carnivorous yeti, Mary Dread said. I looked to Ike, wondering why he wasn't doing anything. He had a grin on his face. Hold on, he said. Wait for it. The big Tim squealed like a little girl and cried for mercy. Ike chuckled. Then just as Tim's face was inches from the water, Ike disarmed the scrawny guy at the pot, freeing Big Tim. I turned and kicked the gun out of the other vegan's hand and let the tiny Tim go. He's not here to defend himself. Ike took the men's guns and looked to Mary Dreads. With a somber frown, he said, "Look, lady, it's one thing if you want to do good in the world. It's another to try to do good at others' expense." She was dumbfounded. "Who are you?" she asked. "Ike, I keep things safe. I think it's best you go home." She looked at him and nodded, turning away slowly. And as Ike and I turned to each other, the mermaid flipped over to us, grinning at Ike like he was a red velvet cake there for her taking. "Thanks for saving my friend," said the mermaid, starry-eyed. No problem, miss. It's what I do." She got on her tiptoes and gave him a kiss on the cheek, then flipped back to her seat. I laughed at the oddity of it all, and Ike spoke with a big grin on his face. "Like I said, Rachel, this town is weird."
As we say at the Inspired Mike, you never know what to expect.